Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final of the ESL UK Open number 26. And I'm just going to go straight into the intro, spawning in the bottom right hand corner as the Purple Zerg, our 2 times in a row returning champion and playing for Clan Milk. We have Ziktomini, or Ziktomini. It's always a hard name to pronounce, so no worries. Spawning up here in the top left hand corner as the Green Protoss, a man after my own heart. Playing, I don't think, for a team at the moment, but we will see how he does. This is the furthest he's ever got in a UK Open, I believe, and apparently he gets a bit of the jitters, so we will hope that he's able to overcome that and do well in this match, for he is Adrenal. Oh god, we have 2 people who have names that are complicated to pronounce. Ziktomini or Ziktomini and Adrenal. Someone had a shout at me a while ago just saying, "Oh my god! It's not Adrenal, it's Adrenal." And I was like, is it pronounced adrenaline? No, it's pronounced adrenaline, so shut the fuck up. Ah, troll logic is the best logic. Adrenal having a scout around, seeing if he can see any kind of... seeing if he can find his opponent's base. Hasn't seen it yet, so he knows that it is possibly cross positions, so he is going to have a scout there, and he will find his opponent on his second scout. Whereas Zikto is going to head straight across the map by the looks of it, and head straight for the cross position scout, and he will find his opponent there, so a very good scout by him. Pool already down by Zikto on, I think, 15 supply. I'm not 100% sure, I wasn't paying that much attention. And the first pylon is already up for Adrenal, so he will begin his Forge Fast Expand very soon. There is the expansion on 16. That is a very early expansion. Expansion before Forge, or before Gateway even. So that is a good thing. Bronze League for the win. Yes, absolutely agree. Thank you, Zikto. That is very much appreciated. I love you. Thank you very much. Zikto's spawning pool has just completed, so we will see him begin to get out those Zerglings and also begin to get out that Queen. There goes the drone down to the natural expansion to throw down that, I've forgotten what it's called, hatchery. There we go, to throw down that hatchery and begin the expansion. And there is the second drone, which will throw down the second expansion as he knows his opponent has gone for the sneaky, for the very obvious Forge Fast Expand on this map. There is the cannon in range of the ramp, so decent position. Not bad, I do like it, so it is fine. 2 Zerglings heading out across the map, splitting up, looking like they're going to take the 2 Zelmaga towers, so not going for any kind of harassment yet. And the expansions are about halfway and a quarter of the way finished. Zergling heading up into the corner of the map and will find this probe, there we go, and will probably kill that actually. Already removed all of its shields, and obviously Zerglings are a bit faster than probes, so it will be able to continually chase this probe. Here comes the second Zergling, which just completely ignored it. But yeah, these 2 Zerglings will chase this probe down and eventually catch it. There we go, double hit off on that probe, manages to pick it off. First gateway is down and no Zealot coming out yet, so this wall-off is fairly vulnerable for the moment if Zikto was to go mass Zergling and just charge straight through it. So it doesn't matter for now. The Cybercore is on the way up, so it looks like Adrenal will be going straight into that Stalker when that Cybercore is up. There is the Cybercore, so where is that Warp Gate research and that Stalker? Doesn't actually have enough of both, so we will be seeing the Stalker first, I'm expecting. At the moment we're seeing neither, choosing not to go over either. What is he building at the moment? Building another pylon to prevent a supply block, but he doesn't really need it right now. Gas is up, so here we go. He's now on 150 gas and still no warp gate. Still no warp gate and still no... Wait, what? Where's he spending all his gas? Oh, there we go. That would be where he's spending his gas. There is a Stargate coming down for Adrenal at the moment, so there we go. We now know where he's spending all that gas. Still no warp gate. Oh, there we go. There is the warp gate. Just beat me to it by split seconds at the moment. Confusing the hell out of me. No Stalker coming out at the moment. Is this actually a... I think this may be a full wall off at the moment. So Adrenal is safe, doesn't actually need the Zealot. I was mistaken there. And here is a Sentry as well, being extremely safe at the moment. He will have to blow up that Forge if he wants to leave his base though. Unless of course the Zealot has to go here, but that looks way too small. Or here, which again it looks too small. But well, pylon on the high ground, so he's able to warp in on the low ground if his opponent does choose to do any kind of sneaky shenanigans. Roach Warren is going down for Zikto, very standard in this PvP style. PvZ, sorry. And the first Phoenix is just about to finish up for Mr. Adrenal at the moment, so that will finish up and begin building straight into the second one. Doesn't have enough of that Void Ray yet, so won't be going for the same build that Born went in the last game against Zikto. So, or if he does, it will be a lot slower. Warp Gate is still on its way out. Oh, I apologise. A couple chronos will hopefully be coming up soon to chrono boost out those, continue chrono boosting out those air units. Free Phoenix at the moment, still no Void Ray, choosing to bypass that completely. And we will see what else he does. Any warp-ins at the moment? No, looks like just going to continue to get the warp gate at normal speed. Phoenix is about halfway done at the moment, still being chrono boosted out, chrono boosting out these air units. And here is the fleet beacon. Oh my god, it looks like Adrenal is just going to go into heavy Protoss air at the moment. 2 more gateways going down, so that is a free gate fleet beacon. What will he be using it for? He does have enough for a carrier at the moment, or will he save up and get the mothership? We will find out. There is a probe on the way. There is the 400 minerals. Will we see that mothership? There we go! Mothership being researched at the natural. Oh my god. This is going to be such a great play. The 4 Phoenixes going out across the map and stopping. There we go. 4 Phoenixes heading out across the map. Going to be sneaky as possible. Mothership being chrono boost out at the moment. 2 more gateways in production, so that is 5 gateways. This gateway at the front still hasn't been transformed into a warp gate yet, so we're not seeing anything hugely aggressive. I think we're going to see something that I actually did at I-45 in the free-for-all tournament for Team Data Test, and I think we're going to be seeing the mothership mass recall into your opponent's base, but there is the triple expansion already up. These roaches are heading out across the map, and there is nothing here to defend them other than the single sentry. That is the main issue with this build. There is a carrier on the way, but here we go. The roaches just pushing up into the main base. There is nothing here to defend it. Good force field, though. So we are seeing warp units being warped in, and here we go. Here are the Phoenix. They will hopefully be able to hold this off, lifting up one roach, 2 roaches, and he has been able to hold that off. The cannon did go down, but he does now have the stalkers here to defend that. Will he bother to lift up a couple more of those roaches? There is no way that Zikto can know what is going on at the moment. He has no overlord in his opponent's base. He is clueless. He is completely blind as to what is coming his way right now, and is continuing to build roaches. The infestation pit is on its way, so he will be able to get the fungholes off on those invisible units below the mothership. But once again, he does not know this is coming. There are overlords around the map, and one of the Zelnaga towers is taken. There are still Phoenix out, and the first carrier is about to finish. There we go. The mothership is out. He's moving out with the mothership. The carrier is here as well. It's going to be rallied, hopefully, to the units. I hope he doesn't forget it. Second one on the way as well. So this is a heavy fleet beacon push, and that's going to be replaced with a gateway. So it's obviously going to be warping in on the low ground from now on. Has a probe out with the rest of his army. There is a couple more stalkers. And those Phoenix going to be joining the main force, keeping them on patrol at the moment, seeing what he can see. There is that Roach army, but he has no idea what is coming his way. Here are the Stalkers meeting up with that Roach army. I think he was able to tell what is coming his way. Yep, that Zergling on the Zelnaga tower definitely saw what's coming his way. And here we go. Roaches and an Overseer coming out for MilkZikto. He definitely knows what's coming his way right now. He has the supply lead. And oh my god, Adrenal needs to go right now if he wants to make the most of this. Instead of hanging around waiting for another warp in of units, he needs to go now. This pathogen gland is almost complete, and so are 4 infestors that are on the way. Here he goes. He is pushing out, but he's just building pylons everywhere. Here is another warp in of units. The Zealots pushing forward. Come on, Adrenal needs to move out. The carrier is in the back, using the Observer to pick off all the creep troopers. Needs to move out and do as much damage as possible. He is hanging around way too long. He's letting MilkZikto get up as many units as possible. The Overseer is already out. There are a lot of roaches out, and the infestors are out. They have enough for a fungal each. And there we go. Adrenal is picking off a lot of overlords right now. MilkZikto is supply blocked, but he is supply blocked at 195. That is a big supply block. There's a couple infested terrorists. There is the fungal growth. Are we going to see the mass recall? No, he is going to escape with that mothership. Does manage to get out of there alive. Will there be another fungal growth? But no, that mothership gets out alive, only taking shield damage. All Adrenal's units get under it in cover. There are 5 overlords on the way for MilkZikto, and this attack is going fairly well for Adrenal at the moment. He is keeping alive, and this mothership is going to have another peek in. But there are infestors already there. There's the fungal growth on that mothership. He needs to get that into the main base, but no, it is outside, and he's using it as a decoy basically. But there's just so much. That mothership is going to die without doing very much. And there's the mass recall into the base, doing so much damage. The mothership goes down, but there are so many units in the main base. Force field on the ramp of MilkZikto. There are no units getting in here, and there's just so much damage being dealt here. Carriers have the best DPS in the game out of any unit. They're just so expensive. But these Stalkers are just laying waste to the main base right now, keeping up the force fields, and the Roaches are going across the map for a base trade scenario. There were Stalkers warped in at the home base. Carriers on the way as well, helping to defend this, but the Roaches are on the way. They're just going to be able to crush through this, and this is going to turn into a base race scenario. There are Phoenix killing off all of those overlords at the moment. The carrier is on the way, and the Roaches are pushing up into the main base, taking out the cyber core. There will be no more warp-ins of Stalkers. There is a sentry out. Sentry picked off immediately. No force fields out of that, and it looks like Zikto's going to be able to roll through this. This is exactly what he needs to do in this situation. Great play here by Adrenal, but there is just so many Roaches out at the moment, and all he can warp in now is Zealous. The carrier is out, however. The carrier is going to do as much damage as possible, and Adrenal is just laying waste to Zikto's base at the moment. There are buildings scattered everywhere for Zikto at the moment, so in this base race scenario, he is in a better position. And there goes the second hatchery, and where is Adrenal going to go? He is moving to the third base. He is stutter-stepping his way, killing off all that he can. There's a couple Zerglings there, but it still has 2 more bases to kill, whereas on the other hand, that carrier is actually killing off all of these units. There is a Nidus Worm now in the main of Born. Not Born, Adrenal, I apologize. And oh my god, there goes another building. Nidus Worm is up, more Roaches, and a Queen coming out. There's drones, there's everything coming out right now. This is absolutely a base race scenario. And right now, the issue is Zikto has more buildings. And Zikto, so many Roaches right now. It was an amazing effort. The carrier is just laying waste to all these Roaches. But it's not going to be able to lay waste quick enough. All that's left is this single pylon up here. And all these buildings in the main base. But they are just being annihilated at the moment. He knows exactly what is going on. And here we go. The carriers are just trying to kill as much as possible. Trying to stay alive. And he's moving. He's built another Nexus. Adrenal has built a Nexus to keep himself alive. And Adrenal is moving all his units back across the map. It looks like he's going to try and engage MilkZikto here. I'm not sure I like this decision, but there is a lot of units here. There's all of Zikto's drones. He's trying to rebuild his base inside of Adrenal's base. And Adrenal's moving forward, picking off all the drones right now. Here comes the carriers. And force field on the high ground at the ramp. He can't get down. And this is an amazing play by Adrenal here. He's trapped his opponent. His opponent needs to go back into that Nidus Worm if he wants to live, pretty much. Keeping up the force fields on the ramp. There are Corruptors out now. The Corruptors using the Corruption. And great fungal growths there by those sneaky Infestors in the back on those carriers. The carriers are going down. Infested Terrans below. The carriers are going to be able to pick them off. Carrier being focused down. The carrier is down. And all that's left is these Stalkers, Zealots, and those Phoenix. The hatchery has been cancelled, and all those Roaches and Zerglings will probably head back into the Nidus Worm or attempt to get off a good engagement. The base is now back up, though, for Adrenal as soon as possible, but there are no drones on the field. If we look out for the unit count here, we can see there is only 1 probe on the field where there are 10 drones, which are all mining for MilkZikto. So MilkZikto in a much better position here, and Adrenal waiting for that force field to go down, and it's going to move up into the main base right now. Going to try and kill off these Roaches, but these Roaches are spread out. MilkZikto is going to get a really good concave here, trying to pick off that Nidus Worm. MilkZikto using it as bait, trying to lure his opponent up onto that ramp, onto the creep where he will have the advantage. And there is some gateways. Adrenal still has 700 minerals, spending as much of it as he can, and is going to begin to mine, building the pylon so that he can get out more drones. And here's a really good engagement. There's the force field, but that was a lot of units lost there by Adrenal. He is still very, very much supply boxed, so he can't build any drones. MilkZikto is just being able to tech up and up and up. And does Adrenal have vision of this base? He knows it's there, but he can't go kill it. He just doesn't have the resources right now, continuing to force field that main base. Nidus Worm is now dead. He does have the vision up there, so he can put another one down to use it as an escape route, but he's choosing not to. The Overlords have hiccups, apparently, fleeing for their life. The Zerglings moving around the map, trying to pick off the remaining buildings, and it looks like he will find this last base here. And that Zergling is on a move. It will find this base eventually. It will see it. And here come the Phoenix across the map. Fungal growth on all the Phoenix, but now they are still out of range of that Infestor. Move in range, you can pick it off. Oh, and here come the Corruptors. And great fungal growth there. In range of the Corruptors, though, but the Corruptors... Phoenix will now attempt to micro around the Corruptors, do as much damage as possible, but there are only 2 left. Trying to pick them off as much as possible. Phoenix, of course, can shoot from wherever, but in a rock and a hard place, there's many Corruptors, and of course there is that Queen, and that will kill him off. He knows exactly what is here now. He does not know about this spider, but here we go. Once again, trying to get down, but force fielding that ramp indefinitely at the moment. There is no way Zikto is getting out of there unless Adrenal just micros it. And those Zerglings are not getting in there. There are cannons everywhere. Needs to get out as many probes as possible. But Zikto is in a much more favourable position at the moment with the fact he is able to mine. Personally, I would prefer it much better if Adrenal just left his sentries, only his sentries behind, and just force fielded that ramp and only the ramp. Just kept on force fielding the ramp and then sent all his other units to kill off his opponent's base. He needs to do it. MilkZikto is teching back up. He has an expansion now. He's continuing to build drones. There is all this lava left here. Not many resources coming in for Zikto at the moment, but as you can see, he is droning up. He can afford to do so, and there we go. Doing exactly what I said, leaving the sentries behind, continuing to force field that ramp, and he's going to continue to do so indefinitely. There is nothing Zikto can do about it. There we go, second force field again, continually trapped, and he's moved all his units down to the main base, killing off all those infested Terrans. Where are the infestors that left them? Looks like they have buggered off. Oh, but here we go. Here is the problem with the strategy I literally just suggested. Zerglings can come in and pick up all of these sentries. 1 down, 2 down. Manages to get another force field off before he died. GG, well played by Adrenal. And that was a great attempt there, but MilkZikto managed to outplay that perfectly.